Episode 6, Actors Are Thieves. That's the name of this episode. That's the name of this episode, and that's going to remain the name of this episode.
It's the name of what?
We're not going to get off topic. We tried this last night, and we talked for a good couple of hours, 1 hour on camera, 1 hour off camera, and I hope we got it out of our systems because... But I blame myself too. Because I wasn't a good moderator, and I let it get away from me, and I didn't really hook you with my subject matter. So I'm going to try to do a better job of that. But anyway, welcome to episode 6. If you're
wait a second. With that said, that's not why we're back here.
We're not. Yeah, no.
It's
Jim
not because he
can't work.
He hated our content.
The sound of this production. I like how he tries to blame you and I for that.
Oh, we
had to record this because Darlene and Madeline got off topic. No. We got to the end of 2 hours of recording, and our mics weren't on, so. That was dumbass over here.
There's a lot of buttons. It's like flying a space shuttle. So, but yeah, there was a couple of glitches. One that I left that TV on, and oh, by the way, there's a video that I have to watch, that I have to have you guys watch before we have this conversation, and I'm going to. I can't believe I get to say this. First time. You ready? I'm going to have a link to this video in the descriptions below.
It's called a description box, you old man.
I'm going to have a link. Shut up, Richard.
He's going to have a link in the description
to this video
box.
Because I want you to watch this video. I'm going to have these two watch this video, and then it kind of goes hand in hand with the acting exercise that we tried to do last night, that we did do. And so I want you to watch that. So I think what we're going to do, I've done the introduction. Oh, I want to say we're here with Darlene Armstrong and my daughter Maddie. You remember her, two fellow actors and becoming good friends of mine. Not Maddie, but Darlene. Anyway,
I only bring in the guests.
We tried it. We tried this last night, and we had a good talk, and we got to know each other. And I keep doing stuff that gets me in trouble. Like last night, or the last episode, I told your mother. Or I said I bitched about never being able to finish a sentence.
Because you keep giving her shit about not watching the episodes, but she does, and you say shit like that.
Kind of late in the game, though. I mean, you'd think she'd be just waiting at home for it to upload so that she can instantly hit play.
So at 2 a.m. she's...
Whatever. Hey, man. Whatever. But men, by nature, are insecure beasts. And, sorry.
Especially you.
We take it out. We take it out on our wives, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take a quick break. I want these guys to watch this real quick. Okay, we're back. I hope you watched that. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you guys found that interesting. As I'm questioning the morality of practicing that as a skill set. Okay? Acting. It's something that you have to practice to be able to be good at. So you're not born with this innate ability to deceive. You know, if you want to be an actor, you've got to go learn how to do it. And that's not true. I'm sure some people are born with an innate ability to be artistic in that way. But like if you had to get in, if you had to be in the mirror and practice, I don't know, being somebody terrible. I'm trying to imagine a terrible role for a woman where you'd have to just do terrible, wretched things, or
Cruella.
Go to a terrible. Well, no, not a cartoon, but where you'd have to go to a terrible, wretched place to pull it off. But and if you have this skill, where's the line? I mean, who gets to draw the line? What if you get pissed off? What if you get wrong? What if you catch your husband cheating, and so like a year later, you can just seal this bitch's fate with a simple phone call, a fairly convincing phone call that would ruin her life. And all you'd have to do is make put on your acting cap for 30 seconds and make a really convincing phone call and just screw her up for the. You know what I'm saying?
Again, how mentally stable are you? How mentally
stable is he?
That's what I'm saying. So, how mentally stable are you to make those type of choices through acting, right?
Did you ever get emotionally connected with his performance anywhere along the way?
Oh, sure. When he started to cry, no.
Okay. Did you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't think it comes from a place I think that I don't ever feel like it's coming from a place of like the words you used were learning to deceive. I don't really think that that's the place that it comes from. I think it's a place of actors are very empathetic. We really have to see life from someone else's point of view and how they're living it and how they feel about things. Whether that person's awful or not. I don't think that's the original. I don't think that's the original intent, though. It's how can I make people believe? It's how can I make myself believe?
Yeah, and it's taking from
And
your own
understand,
personal, yeah.
being able to understand the person that you're playing enough to, be them and know the background of why you believe the things that you believe.
Let's back up a minute. Is he okay? Isn't it creepy he can do that? Maybe that's the way to ask this question. Isn't it creepy that he has the ability to do that? And you have to. Like in these auditions, when you have to slate yourself, you have to look down. You have to go, Jim Krager, actor. Then you look down, and then you look up in character, and you start the lines.
Maybe not creepy. I think it's extremely gifted. I feel like nothing that he did was ever scary or creepy or anything. If anything, I'm in awe of it, and it made me feel like I'm not anywhere close to where I think I want to be as far as a student of acting. That made me feel like I'm a very inadequate actor. Like, I guess I looked at it in a different light.
It does all of us. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
you just have, and you just transition through believing every single emotion he went through. He just totally believed every single nuance of every transition and every mood. And I agree with you. I think it's gifted, but it's also creepy. It's almost like I'm trying to equate it to another skill that someone would have that would be that's cool that you can do that, but I don't know. Can you think of another skill that someone would have?
People that swallow knives. Have you seen that? Like Cirque du Soleil.
that is fucking creepy.
You're like, that's so impressive, but I don't want to watch you do that ever again.
Yeah.
So where do you stand on what if you get wronged by someone? What you have this skill, and you've never in a million years thought to use it for anything like that, but you can get pissed off enough.
I don't know. Revert me back to. We talked about this just off camera. Revert me back to my 20s, where I wasn't secure in who I was, who had no value of myself. Maybe I could have at that time. I guess if I would have had those type of skills, could I have used them to hurt someone? Maybe at that time it would have popped into my mind as absolute yes. But I also feel like it depends on the mental state that you're in. Because right now I'm like, fuck, my husband cheats on me. Good riddance. Like, or so, I think the only time you know what? No. The only time I think that I would come out of my fucking mind without regard, without regret, if someone were to hurt my children. The moment someone, and I don't care if it's Fred. I'll throw it out there. I don't care if it's Grandma. If someone hurts my children.
Or threatens to.
In a way that I know that it might actually happen, then I might ruin someone's life. I think I could. I think I might use a little bit here and there to.
But you wouldn't ever think to yourself after the 5th play that you've been in, hey, I have this skill. I have this tool.
No.
And I can go use this for evil.
No.
And
no, I'm really glad. I'm really glad. Well, I think you are. I love that she used that that example because it makes me feel. And I've actually talked about this before, but I've never thought of it in this sense. But I've always I am really close with my parents, whatever. And anybody that we fight, we call each other names, we're mean to each other, whatever. Anybody else does that, I lose my fucking mind.
There you go.
I turn into this person, and I will say and do things that are not normal for me. But it's just
to win a fight, just to win an argument.
Not to win an argument. No, it's a feeling that's brought out in me that I don't know. But I feel like I've ended a relationship over someone taking advantage of my parents. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
Don't take a left turn on me here now. Stay
I'm
with
not,
me.
but
Stay on the rails.
I'm just saying you can definitely turn into someone that you don't recognize, and there's definitely buttons that I have that people push that bring that out in me where, in hindsight, I'm like, probably shouldn't have said some of the things that I said.
But just out of the sheer giddiness of using acting as a tool for mischief, that's ever been an inkling inside of me to be like, or you know what? Or maybe I have done it back in the 80s when we used to prank call people.
Well, I
was like, what if I turned you and I was like, Darlene, and we're gonna pull an April Fool's joke on this guy that's been cheating on me.
There you go. I think I guess in the word of mischief, maybe not an evil sense, but in a mischief way, maybe I've been doing that my whole life and not ever thought of it as a negative thing.
As evil and despicable, but okay. I was going to get into that. What if you found yourself in front of a judge? Now, I have a quick story. My parents used to run this storage unit, this self-storage unit, but there was a house attached to it, and they lived there. And this has been Boulder, Colorado, and they lived there and ran the place. And they were out of town, and they asked me to go close the security gate. And it was just really important to my dad that this security gate gets closed at 10 o'clock when it was supposed to, so people can't gain access to the place when they're not supposed to. Well, I was in downtown Boulder getting hammered and dancing to Sly and the Family Stone without Sly or Tina. It was just the Family Stone. But they rocked this bar, man. I mean, we were up on the stage dancing. Well, I realized when it was too late that I was late. And so I had to jump in my car and race off down the highway to get to the storage unit to get the gate closed, already late. But anyway, I got a speeding ticket, a really bad one. And I got in front of the judge, and I said, long story short, I would rather be here talking to you, Your Honor, than facing my father had I been late closing that gate that night. And he bought it, and I got out of the ticket, and it made me think, wow, I'm either good in front of judges or I've got the, and that wasn't me talking. That was me. I mean, it was me, but it was another me.
But it wasn't. Was it also the sheer fear of your father?
Was there some truth in that?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, there's a truth in all of our performances, but all I'm saying is when I was talking to the judge, that wasn't just Jim Krager talking. That was my legal representative that day or whatever. I don't know, but it was somebody else, and I knew it. I was aware. I mean, I'm like over here listening to myself going, smooth.
Like the person you take on your first date, your representative.
Oh my God. Or an
interview.
The person
that interviews.
The person that writes my work emails is not me. I don't know who she is. She's really fucking professional, but she's not me. And my dad's read my work emails and he's been like, "You wrote this?"
Now I will say, okay, then again, yeah, I think I must have taken acting. I must take acting everywhere I go with me. Because as soon as I'm in front of a client or a potential client, Darlene,
Darlene's on. You do have a person.
You're on, and you might call it being professional or salesman, going into your sales mode.
However, that is acting. That is acting in its true form, right there.
Absolutely acting.
They used to make fun of me at the credit union because we all, like, every time someone would walk in, and everyone all the time, like, before I would even do it, or they would, like, we had this thing called Teams where we could all, like, chat with each other on our computers or whatever. And every time I would go, someone would walk in, I'd go, "Hey, how we doing?" And every single time someone walked in, like any of the guys that I worked with, "Hey, how we doing?" Like And then just the way that it's definitely something that you turn on.
You turn on, absolutely. There's the customer service voice, right?
There's the customer service voice,
smile,
and it's really
and
like I would never want to hear myself like from
Guys,
an
I
outside
can show you
perspective.
1,000 auditions where you have to do that exact same thing.
I remember like in 6th grade, I had this really scary
I think
teacher.
every time you touch that, it's going to make noise.
Sorry. It's not staying in the same spot. Maybe you should have
Is it
figured that out
drifting
better.
away?
I feel like it.
Maybe it doesn't like your breath. Do you suffer from halitosis?
I don't know. But I remember I had this teacher in 6th grade and we were taking a test and I had this best friend, Allie, and she sat right next to me in class. And for some reason, my dumb ass turned to her out loud and said, "Hey, what did you put for D?" And my teacher took me out into the hallway and was like chewing my ass. And I came up with this shit out of my ass where I was like, honestly, I don't know what to tell. If I knew why I did it, I would tell you. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Like, I knew.
Her microphone is drifting away.
It is drifting.
Told
I just said
you.
it is drifting.
Okay, you can keep touching it. I don't know how it came loose. There you go. Just jam it in your face.
No, keep it closer because then it's gonna. Oh, just yell a little louder.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
So you're a salesman, and you think you're a decent salesman. You sell, the most cars. You work for an auto dealership, and you sell 14 units a month, and that's the most of any salesman. And you go home and you think, I'm a good salesman. I'm good. I'm really good. And then you maybe graduate into real estate or you go into other stuff, and you cop this attitude where there isn't anything. I mean, you can manipulate people. You have this God-given talent. Mm-hmm. So at what point do you sell the last greatest truck you're ever going to sell, and you finally decide, the guys that bilk people and out of their retirements and whatever, they live in, they break the rules, they break the law, and they live in this house. And I sell trucks and I sell them well, but I live in this house and I abide by all the rules, and that sucks. And I'm in my late 30s and I'm tired of doing that. And I know that I have the ability to go bilk some lady out of her retirement and be driving her dead husband's Cadillac around town before the end of the week.
Wow.
Is that acting?
No, that's a whole different thing.
What's different about it?
No, because you can act. You can act and still have a soul. Like, you can act and still be a good person.
What's
like,
keeping you from doing that is a conscience.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What about
I believe in God. Like I think that, you know what I mean? For me personally, like, I believe like there's something higher in me. Like, I think I'm being judged by something. Like, there's still something in me that's like keeping me.
That would stop you from crossing that line. But there's them that wouldn't. There's them that would cross that line because they do want to go live in that house and they have this ability. Mm-hmm. And it's an acting ability, and they never thought about using it wrong before. But all of a sudden,
they don't think of it as an acting
wrong.
ability.
And they don't even think that it's wrong, though, either.
What about...
but that goes back to the empathy thing. That's a lack of empathy.
What about the kid that's groomed out of high school to go into the military, and then he goes into the FBI, and then he goes into the CIA, and he goes and lives this clandestine life as a spy, and he has to adopt a whole different personality and a whole different life. He has another wife in Germany, mm-hmm. and a family, and it's all a ruse. It's all this. He has to. I mean, he's got to sell it. What if your life depended on how well you did this, how well you were at this skill,
how well you're a con?
Yeah, and what? But he's doing that for the greater good. He's doing that for the Commonwealth, man. He's doing that.
I say good for him, but that's also choices you make. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's, I can't look down on anyone on the choices they make for how they financially gain or how they live or whatever. I mean, however they get there, they got there. They're the ones that have to live with whatever consequences come with that.
So you could have dinner with a murderer?
Would I know he's a murderer?
If you did. But he was a perfectly wonderful person, and you loved his wife and kids.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah, what I'm
at
saying.
Some point.
That's
Isn't
what
that
I'm
crazy?
saying. It's like okay. If someone's like, yeah, I rape and kill children, but I'm a great father and stuff. Trust me. I mean, why would I ever even think to myself, I want to associate with this person?
I want to have dinner with you.
No. But then again, if I don't know. If I don't know, who's to say I haven't, or who's to say whatever?
There's a TikTok sound of, I think these two guys, I think they have a podcast, but one of them's like, so what would I have to do for you to not be my friend? And the other guy goes, there's literally nothing on this planet that you could do that would make me like fucking hate you. And he goes, nothing, really? And he goes, well, I mean, like, he's like, I mean, like, if you like raped and killed children, then I'd be like, dude, come on, like.
There's a line. I mean, come on.
I think there's a line with a lot of things. There's a fine line with a lot of things, but I think ultimately you kind of want to vibe to people that are in your same like wheelhouse. Like, I'm not going to go like hang out with meth addicts and whatever. You get what I'm saying? Just because I think they're great people.
Why won't you hang out with meth addicts?
Because I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's
Okay,
like,
so
yeah.
How far you have children? Mm-hmm. Are they Santa Claus age?
My 7-year-old is, yes.
7 years old. How far are you willing to go to perpetuate this Santa Claus bullshit?
Me?
Like will you put tracks in the snow?
Listen to this.
Would you
Listen to this.
Take bites out of cookies?
Okay. In all fairness,
make him think that a stranger's been inside your house in the middle of the night.
I ruined Santa to Diamond when he was like 6. It ain't real, buddy. Sorry to tell you.
Oh, okay. So you're not.
But my son to his little sister, he stayed up last year and ate the damn cookie and burped really loud to show her that Santa was real.
That a stranger was in the house in the middle of the night. Okay.
Exactly. But that doesn't come from me. But that's like the love that he has for her, whatever. So no, I mean that's a bad question for me.
Darlene.
Well, and he did some. You know
I
what he did
believed
there?
in
He
Santa
did some.
till I was like
You know what he did there? He
old.
did some method acting right there. That's pretty cool. Drank the milk and burped, and that's cool. That's method acting right there.
Diamond's good. He would be good on stage. I don't
already
think that's
talked
his
about,
thing
yeah.
though.
What if you?
I think he wants to. He's aching. I bet he wants to do. I got him to watch her thing because he wants to do voice acting.
Who does?
My son.
Really?
He's wanted to for the longest
The
time.
nicest, most responsible kid you've ever met in your life.
Auditions.
Oh, will you please?
Yeah.
There you go. He's 21. He would love it.
Awesome.
He's into
so great.
Well, let's talk about that off camera.
Okay, yeah. He's a good kid.
Last point. And then I am going to repeat something that I did last night. I want to read that my conclusion that I found that I think really sums up, at least from an actor's point of view, the whole question of whether we're disingenuous thieves or liars. But my question is, how can you ever trust somebody that has this ability? If you knew, well, like Michelle says all the time, I can't tell when you're serious. I don't know when you're bullshitting me or when you're not, Jim. And wow, there's the line we're talking about. Do I use that to manipulate my personal life and my relationship with everyone?
I don't know. Have you ever been with a narcissist? Shit.
I was just thinking about that. Like, what I guess you have to learn what kind of person you're dealing with, because if you're dealing with a person that uses their talents and they're manipulative and they're narcissistic and they want to use it to hurt you, to mold you, to be the kind, make you do what they want you to do, be how they want you to be, that's one thing. If someone's just like, always sarcastic and fucking around with you all the time, and and it's like mom's just like, I don't know when you're fucking with me and when you're not. That's different. That's just the kind of person that you are.
Then you just start singing that song, "If you don't know me by now." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like when it's like that, it's like you know, like you would know your spouse's little quirks and nuances and things that who they are. But then again, the truth is, no, you cannot. How do you even know when a person is being genuine or ingenuine when it comes to their acting or their persuasiveness? We don't know. It's you put one over on me, buddy. Who hasn't had those type of relationships before?
This doesn't cross over into a trust issue, like.
Of course, it creates trust issues in you.
You've got a husband that can act. You're in the heat of a fight, and you go, well.
The man will not fight with me.
Well, but I
will go with you. I will.
You're going to get in the middle of the argument and go, how do I know? I don't know if you're bullshitting me right now or not. That's come up between your mother and I get that, and I go and
I know you can tell when my dad has rehearsed his spiel in the shower.
You know what?
I usually do it driving. I have practice fights with Michelle.
His lines are memorized.
Because she is, by the way, surgical. I mean, when you get in a fight with her, you got to know you got to bring your A game.
You have to know what's going on, which, by the way, my dad never knows what's going on.
You know, veins in my neck, just so I'm prepared, just so I have something to defend myself with.
Well, I don't know. I guess honestly, where I'm at now, I've probably been in the most healthiest relationship of my whole life. So, Fred and I don't fight.
Fred's very non-confrontational.
It's so crazy. Which is crazy though, because when it comes to recruiting and when it comes to football, the man is so persuasive, and he's just not that way with me. But if you would have asked me 15 years ago how I would have acted to someone else like that, I would have went tit for tat with him. I would have went back and forth.
I bet him as a scout is a completely different person. I bet if you listened to him
just today. Talking to a potential player.
Sure.
Are you serious?
Well, and I think you know him well enough
110%.
to where if he ever did kind of slide into that, you'd be like, don't recruit me. Don't.
Oh yeah. Which I've never had to, but in my mind, like when he's talking to people, I'm always like, dude, like I've heard this before. Like if they would know that you use this like 1,000 times before, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my God! Don't call him out like that. Jeez.
No, but stop. No, but
editing.
It's not that. But it's just like me. It's just like me for my job for the last 20 years. Some things you do have to say verbatim. Some things come out verbatim because they have to. Especially when think about football, things get into specifics. They want to know how they're living, how much they're getting paid, how they're getting there, their positions. It's every effing time you go through those exact same things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you do have
kind
to
of scripted.
You do have to have some type of script, and it's just like calling plays. They're all fucking scripted. They're all said 1,000 times the same way.
When you're in a job interview.
Oh shit! Yeah.
There you go. Good example. When you're in a job interview, you're bringing your A game. I guess maybe that's what.
Oh yeah, I love working with people.
What would I do there?
I don't know.
I think Amsterdam.
See what I mean?
He has an 8-year gig in Amsterdam, and then at least they speak really good English.
This went on for 2 hours last night.
Yeah. So why not? That'd be cool. I could get a better job there. I wouldn't have to learn the language.
Hi guys.
Hello,
Hi.
sir.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Listen, let's wind this down. I appreciate your participation and your input. This was really, really way better than your efforts last night. Anyway, sorry for the technical issue. Are we recording? Okay, cool. I want to update everyone. Today I got 3 auditions out. I did Frank Galvin. I did the verdict for a part called a movie called 2, the number 2. That's all I know. I submitted this where I talk about a cyclist, some narration thing, and then I did that Weber State thing. I wanted to do the Weber State thing because I like Weber State.
They're close. Weber's close too.
Yeah, it's close, and it's a beautiful campus. And so I did this thing where, you want to. They're just little promos for students that come on campus to see if they want to go to school there. So I'll give you an example of one. Life is made up of moments. Weber State leaves time for the ones that matter, so you can be brilliant in the middle of it all. Stuff like that. So I did 3 of those today to bring you up to speed. Very cool. That's it. I really appreciate you guys doing this, and I appreciate you giving me your time again this evening. I really am sorry for all the technical difficulties. Every week seems to be a new adventure, yeah. For the first 2 weeks was editing nightmares. I'm not going to ever go into that. I am. I'm going to do a short video
called Editing Nightmares,
so that I could get this out of my system about what editing is. Anyway, but yeah, the technical difficulties and the pushing of all the buttons and all that. So thanks for coming back and doing this. It was a really good topic. I want to read my final thoughts on this, which are not here now. I don't get to read my final thoughts. So here's my final thoughts. So this is my final thoughts, and I shared this with you guys last night, but I think this encapsulates, at least from an actor's point of view, and I hope just a sensible person's point of view, whether we're thieves or not. Where lying is, for you, at the expense of another, acting is the sharing of truth in such a way that everyone is poised to gain. There are surely brilliant actors who are also excellent liars, but naming it as a requisite is nonsense. In any art, there is an endless well of talent birthed from an infinite range of skill sets and experiences. There's no single route to success. There's no single kernel of truth within acting. What each individual brings is valid, and how they get there simply isn't the point. So, I like that. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back. We'll see you next week.